In today's video, I'll have a closer look at a lure fishing rod called Assassins. And it's made by a company called Histar. But before talking about this rod itself, let me quickly show what you are getting with this rod. And it's a really nice travel case, or hard case should I say. Basically it has some rigidity in it, nicely zipped, and inside it has, pockets for each section. So yeah, very nice bonus to have with this rod. And it's a big size as well. You can easily fit a few of your travel rods in it without reels, no problem whatsoever. So yeah, this out of the way now. It has a nice handle too. Cool, let's come back to the rod now. I guess I will start with the butt section and will move all other sections out of the way now. So, as you can see, it has a nice, really camo pattern here on the butt grip. Really nice. And it's made out of hard foam, like super hard. Then it has a plastic kind of end cap, if you will, a couple of gold rings, some carbon effect. It says Histar here. It says Assassins on the end here. So yeah, looks very high quality. Okay, let's move on. Here we got a red ring. Here we got that writing Assassins, and it has that fancy kind of X wrap on the carbon or on the blank itself. Then we got another metal ring here that is red. Then another section that is the same EVA foam in camo. Looks very cool. If you like camo, you will like this pattern a lot because it looks just slick. Okay, now the reel seat, right? The reel seat, I don't know if you can see it. It says Fuji here, so it's a Fuji reel seat. And it, has kind of, don't even know how to explain it, but, slots for your fingers, and it sits just nicely. Really nice. Seems like a high quality plastic here, kind of, very pleasant to touch. So then we have the screw that is like this, kind of like a crown almost shape. Is aluminum, I believe. Some carbon effects in between. So yeah, looks like a very high quality finish so far. Okay, let's move on. Here we got some more writings. It says Assassins, tuned quality by Seiko. Not too sure what it means. Here we got code, length. In this case I got 2.44 meters, so it's a long lure rod. Lure weight from 5 to 15 grams, but I will come to that later. I don't think it's accurate on this particular model. And action medium fast, which I would agree with. But again, I will come to the action a little bit later. And that's, end or joint, if you will, of the butt section. Okay, now let's grab another section. Simple deal here. We still got that cross pattern here and first guide, and the only guide really on this section. And it says DKK. Not too sure if you can pick it up on camera, but here on this leg it says DKK. So far I have reviewed a few rods that do possess these guides, and they are very high quality guides, I have to admit, so no problems with them at all. From what I can tell, they easily compete with Fuji and Sea Guide, no problem whatsoever. Anyway, simple deal, as I say, first guide, and not a very big guide, which I like, for bait casters. Okay, now let's grab another section, And you will notice that this section doesn't have the cross pattern anymore, or X pattern. Anyway, guide is a little bit smaller, or the first guide is a little bit smaller, then it's even smaller, and really simple deal. And that's the tip section. Simple deal here, simple joint. Those are guides on one leg already. And it has plenty of guides, toward the tip, which is always good to see, It will mean that line won't stick onto the blank when it's raining and when it's wet in general. And last guide, as you can see here, this kind of very long anti-tangle frame. That's always, good to see. And let's count the guides because it has quite a few of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 guides in total. So yeah, decent amount of guides for a budget rod. That's really good to see. Now I guess we had an initial look. Let's take a weight of this rod just to move along nicely. From memory, it's not the lightest of the rods, but again, you have to remember it's a long rod and it's a travel rod, meaning it has plenty of sections, plenty of joints. $120, so it's not too bad, not too bad. I was thinking it will be more. 126 grams. That's not too bad actually, for a travel rod that had this configuration and and plenty of metal used for the for the rod itself. So now let's talk about this casting rating, which they say on this particular model, which is ASS 804 MLC. So they are saying it's from 5 to 15 grams. I hope you can see it. In my opinion, it's not accurate. So I would say this rod can cast from about 5 to about maybe 22, maybe 25 even grams. So maybe they made a mistake. Not too certain, but this particular model has more power. But still, it's a very, very sensitive blank. And when it comes to the action, right, medium fast, I kind of agree with that, but I would say it's more like fast than it is medium. So, if that makes any sense. But recovery times on this blank are very, very good. I'm very impressed. But usually, when you get a travel rod, I would say like 4 or 5 section travel rod, usually since they got so many carbon and so many joints, the action is impaired, so usually they are very stiff, just not good. But this one has really a nice action. The blank bends more or less to the half of the length of the rod, so that's a very, very good quality. So bottom line, when it comes to performance of this blank, goes like this. It has a great action, which is, as I say, more fast than it is medium. Even though I would agree it's a medium fast action. Then this blank has great recovery times, even though it's a travel rod. And also it bends quite a bit. At least I would say to the middle of the blank, meaning that this rod will be able to absorb all the lunges from big fish. That's very, very good quality. I always like to see this in a lure fishing rod. Another very cool quality on this rod goes like this. Let me make this rod into 2 sections and I will explain what I mean. So you see, I got this rod in 2 sections and it can be easily used, as a 2-piece rod. See, I aligned those sections and now you will see where the tip ends. So just short. Usually when you get a travel rod, you will see that, the kind of alignment when you have it in 2 sections, or you have, like instead of 4 sections, you have 2 sections, the tip would go, somewhere usually way out of, or it would be way longer than the butt section, meaning that, you can't really use as a 2-section rod when transporting it. Here you can. It's almost perfect. Not almost, but it's actually perfect. So yeah, well done, Histar. Impressive. And when it comes to the reel needed for this particular rod, since it's a little bit longer, I would say you need around 200 grams reel to get the balance right. For the spinning version, it would be a little bit more. I would say maybe 220 or something like that, because for spinning versions usually you need a better balance, so it would be just balanced perfectly. For the bait caster, since you hold the reel in your palm, it's different, but still, to get correct balance for this rod you need like a decently heavy reel, that is around 200 grams, as I mentioned. All in all, this rod is a fantastic option in my opinion. You see, it has a great performance, great finish, quality components has been used, but it's not very expensive. And you don't want to spend a fortune when you are buying a travel rod when you won't be using it on daily basis, if you will. So you will be using it during your holidays, etc. But you still want a rod that would be very nice to use, and this one fits the bill beautifully. And best of all, it's not an expensive option as well. So yeah, I will leave a link in the description below. Check it out. And as always, before pulling the trigger, read reviews from other anglers just to see if they would agree with my findings. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and over and out.